Hey there, guys. I am here with a very special friend, Ryan Doan of Urban Greens. And today we're going to talk to you about a tremendous opportunity that you have as a local Cincinnatian to get local, organic, fresh, best of the best produce in your home on a consistent basis here in 2015. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Ryan some questions. We're going to have a call to action, and we're going to get started right now. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about what Urban Greens is, how it got started, and where you're located right now.
All right. Well, Urban Greens is a local urban farm here in Cincinnati. We grow fresh picked, non-sprayed vegetables.
Yeah.
Our customers basically
Sprayed with what?
sprayed with nothing.
Yeah.
Sprayed with literally nothing.
So no pesticides,
Zero.
no insecticides, herbicides, nothing that's going to screw us up.
Zero.
Perfect.
So my customers typically are those that appreciate fresh picked. I mean, that's the key, really, because I think you can go and buy vegetables at the grocery stores that don't have the chemicals on them.
Right.
But our vegetables are picked the same day that we hand them to our customers.
Yeah. So what's the difference between the organic vegetables that are sitting on Kroger's shelf and the ones that you're cranking out?
Mainly the duration between the time they're picked and the time the customer receives them.
Yeah.
So our stuff is all fresh picked. And if our customers wanted to do the research, there is a list of approved chemicals where you can spray them and still be organic.
Yeah.
So we don't spray anything.
Yes.
So this is just food grown in the ground. We use techniques like diversity, and we move the plants around to keep the insects confused, and we use really healthy soil.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes you might get a little hole in your kale leaf, but you know what? You know that it didn't have any chemicals on there, and maybe a bug enjoyed it too, but
Love it.
It's still good stuff.
Love it. What inspired you to start Urban Greens?
Well, I started doing some research. I started eating local food myself and realizing how much better it was. It tasted better. I started feeling the difference in my body.
Yeah.
And I was basically, it was a sourcing question, like how am I going to get more of this stuff at a better price? And I realized like, well, I'm just going to grow it myself.
I'm going to start an awesome business.
I want to start a business. And I was kind of tired of doing my corporate spreadsheet job for many years, and I was just looking for a way out. So basically this Urban Greens kind of started naturally. I started getting involved in community council in Mount Washington. It started off as like a gardening club.
Right.
You know, we were just other citizens like, hey, we want to grow our own food too. And I was like the organizer.
Yeah.
And after the first year, we kind of changed from that to more of like a business.
Right.
So.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
And where are you currently located for the folks here in town?
Well, our gardens are primarily in the east end of Cincinnati, and I have a production farm like outside of town in Hamilton, around the Hamilton area. Yep. But we do downtown drops as well, so we're going to have a drop here, obviously at the Healthy Human Compound.
And clarify what is a drop is for our viewers.
Okay, a drop is if you sign up for the CSA.
CSA is?
Yeah. So CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture.
Perfect.
And basically the idea behind a CSA is the customers pay before the season starts, and I give them the food over the course of the season, which lasts between typically early May through October. Right. And you know, somebody might ask, well, you know, why do I have to pay up front? And the reason for that is because the farmer incurs a lot of costs early on in the season.
Sure.
So I have to buy my seeds and all my materials. I have to fix my tools. I have to make commitments to my seasonal labor that they're going to have jobs. So I have a lot of cash going out like 3 or 4 months before the season even begins. Right. So my customers are just acknowledging that fact, and they're paying me ahead of time for something they know they're going to consume.
The thing that gets me about it is you can pay upfront and be secured knowing that you're going to have the freshest fruits and vegetables available for an entire season, and talk about how it compares price-wise to what you're getting at Kroger.
Sure. So actually my price list, I do essentially the same as what's in the big box stores, the organic pricing. So I'll actually be a little bit below Whole Foods pricing and somewhere right around Kroger organic pricing. But again, the key is I pick things fresh.
Right.
So, and then on top of that, so that's at just that farmer's market list price.
Right.
So my CSA customers last year received a 20% return on investment. So the CSA last year cost $500, and I handed out just over $600 worth of vegetables for that upfront investment.
And you're getting the most nutritionally dense
Yes.
food imaginable, knowing there's nothing junky sprayed on it that's going to disrupt your system.
That's
and
right.
It tastes divine.
Yes.
And talk about, just to inspire our viewers here, what are some of your favorite recipes that you get to make from seed to sow?
Well, one of the things that my wife and I really enjoy is our spaghetti sauce. So this is just, we take our tomatoes, we quarter them, I add some peppers, onion, garlic, and basil, and maybe a little bit of oregano, and make this really simple sauce. Very little olive oil and even less salt.
Yeah.
So it's
actually, we just tasted it upstairs before we shot this video, and it's still in my mouth. I can taste it. It's unbelievable.
It's earth goodness, and it's a lot of vitamin C. So I live on this for the winter. So this sauce I can use either as a soup base, I can use it as to make pizzas, or I can use it on pasta. So I mean, essentially, I live on my spaghetti sauce all winter.
So let's talk about if someone has the concern of how many pounds of vegetables a week are they getting about?
I mean, in the spring it might be a little less. You might only get 3 or 4 or 5 pounds.
But I mean,
that's
greens. How much? I mean,
it's a whole big. I mean, it's going to be a bag volume-wise at least this big.
My mom did it last year, and needless to say, I was over for dinner a lot. And the coolest part is when you get this bag, right? Some people might be like, "How do I use all this stuff? What is a turnip? How do I use a beet?" And what's your solution for that?
So our solution is we tell our customers each week, we're there at the pickups. So we tell our customers, hey, new this week is a turnip or a rutabaga, and we recommend that you make it into a root mash with your potatoes, so something like that. So we also have a recipe section on our website, which we are developing. It's going to get better than what it currently is.
Sure.
And while I'm talking about that, urbangreensfresh.com, that's the website.
urbangreensfresh.com. We'll have a link below this video for sure, so you can check it out, get the whole backstory on Urban Greens, and decide whether or not getting a CSA is right for you. So
one more thing.
What else you got?
Last thing. So for the customers who say, okay, I agree, the CSA probably would be better, but I just don't have the money.
Right.
We're going to have a pay-as-you-go program this year. So you'll be able to come each week with $20 and still get the bag.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay up front, but you have to each week sort of order the bag on the website.
Right.
So that's called the Farmer's Choice option.
Right.
But again, the CSA customers will get more than essentially the straightforward $20 bag.
They're paying you up front.
They're paying up front, so I have to give them a little bit more. But if people want to just try me out on a week-to-week basis, that's the $20 program.
Love it. So this video was basically intended to let you meet the farmer that's taking over Cincinnati with local, organic, non-sprayed, badass, I'm going to say it, badass fresh produce. So get to know the face behind the food. And then I want to just make a personal plea to you and say that if you care about your health, or if you're looking for just like that first initial step to take a big leap in your health, there's no better place to start than getting local, organic, fresh produce on a consistent basis. Just using that in your cooking, the regular dishes you're making, is going to up your health in ways that you probably can't imagine. Your energy is going to be better, your sleep will be better, you'll lose weight. Not that we're selling this as a weight loss solution, but that's a common thing when you start getting more nutrition in. And the cool part is you're going to learn to cook better. You're going to learn new techniques and just get invested in this local food movement. If you've heard anything about it, I cannot more highly recommend Urban Greens. And the call to action below is basically a button that'll send you directly to the CSA page that'll give you all the options on urbangreensfresh.com. And last but not least, Ryan, I want you to talk about to the viewer how it helps you if someone decides, before March to make this decision and kind of secure their fruit and vegetable intake for the coming year. How does that help you as a farmer?
Sure. So I know that money's tight, and making a step out and taking a chance and giving the half share is $250 and the full share is $500. That's not a little bit of money. I know that. But the way that it helps me is that I can make commitments to the people that will be working with me during the season. So I'm going to hire a different amount of people if I get 50 shares than if I get 100 shares.
Right.
So if I get more customers, then obviously that lets me know I have to buy more materials, I have to hire more people, I need to cultivate more land,
Right.
I have to do more planning.
Right.
So, I mean, that's essentially the way that I can provide the lowest cost produce
Right.
and the highest quality is if my customers will just take a step out and secure their vegetables up front before the season and then let me take care of the rest.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty good at doing that. So.
I can attest to it. I've watched Ryan grow from the beginning. He's a trustworthy individual. The food is amazing. So if this interests you at all, pop over to urbangreensfresh.com using the button below and contact Ryan by email or phone if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching the video today, and we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.